Reflections of Purpose.
Hello, thanks so much for joining us. This is Twisted Threads. My name is Karen Sims, and you've joined us for our Reflections of Purpose. These are messages that we share with you to empower you to find ways to impact, inspire, and transform your life through the voice and communication of Twisted Threads. So as we always do, remind you to like and share this video if it's a message that impacts your life in a positive way. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss a thing. And we're going to get right into it. Today's topic, setting goals. That's right, setting goals. And we want to talk today about how to set the right goals. So it's a two-part thing here, and we'll see how far we can get into this, but it really is about setting goals and then picking the right ones for you. So my goals are not going to be the same as your goals, and even if we do have the same goals, odds are us executing them may look a lot differently, and that's something that we want to talk about so that you get to set expectations so that they get to be managed during the way. One of the things that I had the pleasure of doing in my professional life is I work as a director, and as a director I've got a lot of things. I got to direct people, resources, time, money, so many different things that come with that. The bigger thing is each year we go through a goal setting exercise, and so I do it for my team, and I'm a part of a larger leadership team where we do it, and then there's even a larger team that we're a part of. And so when we think about that, it gives us an opportunity to understand that we should have goals set for different areas of our lives. So we should have maybe health goals that we're looking to do. We should have finance goals. We should have professional goals. We should even have perhaps maybe romantic and relational goals as well. We should have goals to set for ourselves as parents, as community members. So when we break that down, trying to figure out how do we keep track of all of that? How do we figure out what's the right things to do? Well, we want to start about just with talking about setting goals. So setting goals, the process is this. You got to think about what it is that you want. And then you have to make a decision. So you think about, I think I would like to be a millionaire. Okay, it's a good thought. Decide what you want to do if that's really a goal that you want to move forward after, because it's going to take a lot of work. You know, we can't just snap our fingers and then where the $1 million is going to show up, and maybe you'll win the lottery. You know, remember to support Twisted Threads if you do, if you get some type of numbers. But when we think about the setting goals, you got to decide what it is that you want. Name your goals. Name them. That means write them down. A lot of times it's either writing or typing, but we realize that what we make appointments for in our life usually is what we won't miss. And so setting goals gives us a opportunity to write down what it is we don't want to miss. Don't miss this. We hear that, you know, going at a business sale, they have signs and they remind you, don't miss these important dates. We want to create those opportunities in our own lives when we're setting goals. So we've gone through the process of writing down our goals, deciding what it is that we want, and then deciding what it is that we want to do. The next step is we've got to calculate what those goals are going to cost us to move forward. So if I say I want to be a millionaire, that means I've either got to patent some new thing, spend some time doing something, write the book, create the art, whatever it is. But I've got to count the cost. And when I'm counting the cost of what it's going to take for me to get from the beginning of said goal to the completed portion, that finish line, that completed project, it usually is going to take a lot of things. And so when you start sitting down what it is that you want, you got to sit down and think, can I do it by myself? Do I need to collaborate with other people? Are there other things that I need to figure out before I can move forward? Now, we got another video on procrastination that we don't want you to get too much in the weeds that you never start a thing. But odds are that as you're moving into a thing, you'll learn more things about it. So I love it because I started with social media and I got my first Facebook page because of my children. You know, I wanted to keep up with what they were doing on social media and to make sure they weren't acting too crazy. And then as my son tells it, I'm now the queen of Facebook, of always on there, of always learning new things about what this resource is allowing for us to do. So it gives me the opportunity to share my messages with you, but it also gives us a chance to connect with other people, long lost friends, and maybe lose some folks that we should have kept left in the first place. But it's a great tool. Same thing when I decided I wanted to create the website for our Twisted Threads. And so it became a labor of love, and I do mean labor. It became a labor of love because I had to figure out, so what's the things that I need to know? What are the tools that I need to figure out, whether how to use them, not to use them, learn more about them. And I'm trying to also grow a business and grow which vehicles we use for getting messages out. That means that I had to take the time and figure out how much time it's going to cost. Now, here's the deal. When you write down how much money it's going to cost to maybe pay for a website or pay for a business license or register your business in your state and to get your EIN number. Oh, I felt that one right there. Yes, we're going to talk about that. But when you think about those things, you also have to think, how much more money am I going to need? So in business, they usually tell you make a plan, and then you want to inflate it about 10 to 15% to make sure that the cost is still within your personal budget. So if you only got $1,000 and you budget for $1,000, but you find out that the project is going to cost $1,250, guess what? You've budgeted incorrectly and you set your goal at the wrong place. This is what I mean about setting goals and figuring out which are the right goals. So same type of thing if you decide, I want to lose 10 pounds, but you ain't going to the gym but once a week. Well, let's be realistic. You ain't got to lie, Craig. Let's be realistic about the goals that we want to set. Getting real with our goals means that we've got to figure out what are the things that we could do well. I love it because I've got a couple of people, and clearly it was a message from God, because I've got about 3 friends plus my son who are all personal trainers, and they always remind us, and they get so happy about working out. They just are so overjoyed. That is not my testimony, but I recognize how important it is. And so when I set my health goals, I'm thinking of them in mind and like, okay, what is August doing? What is Darlene doing? What is Joe doing? And he's got a business that he started called Y Fitness. So I got to put that plug in there. And he does personal training as well as group training sessions. And he makes videos, and I sit there and I watch him. I said, sit there. I sit there. I sit there and I watch him. What do you do well? Do you bake well? Do you sing well? Do you write well? Are you a person who helps folks come together to collaborate better? Do you bring out the best in other people? Are you a makeup artist? Look, my makeup today is done by me, but I have an entire glam squad that when I'm going somewhere, they already know. When we hit this worldwide, they're already on the bankroll because they are good at what they do. They know how to get this makeup and make me look like somebody extra, and really have my queen attributes come out. Think about those things when you're setting your goals. Maybe it is, I just want to share my journey with somebody. I just want to share my testimony with somebody. Those things give opportunities for not only for you to push forward with achieving the goals that you set, but it also gives you an opportunity to create new goals for yourself. So thinking about that, okay, so we've gotten real with our goals. We've written them down. Now you got to think about the goals. So you counted the cost on what it was going to cost you for resources. What do you got to say no to so that you can say yes to your own goals? Is it going to cost you, maybe taking out a student loan? I remember sharing my educational journey with folks, and I explained to them that once upon a time, I was afraid to take out loans because it was like, this is going to cost too much money. And that education goal is not going to be something that I would be able to do. But then I realized that once I completed the educational aspiration, I then had the chance to make more money. So what I thought that I couldn't afford 3 years before became affordable because I had set the sights not on the obstacle, but kept my sights on the goal. So setting out and thinking about what are the right goals, we got to figure out what they are, got to figure out what we want to do, and then give yourself a chance to meditate. to think about what it is that you're doing, to make a reflection on what you want to do, and then see if those goals are the same. See if they still rise to the top. See if you still want to put in all of the work after you made all your lists, after you set your budget, after you decided this might cost $3,000 and I don't know where the money is coming. But think about it not in the sense of, can you do it alone? Now, we're going to break this up because there's a part 2 to this setting goals that we want to dig in just a little bit deeper, because now we understand what the mindset we need to have as we think about setting the right goals. And we want to give you just a little bit more information about how you've done that. So in between time, write down your goals. We're going to come back and talk about how do you get those goals in motion, really, so that you feel like you've got a good strategy for you setting goals, not just for today, but moving forward. This is Twisted Threads. Remember to like and share this video. Make it an amazing day. Be great.
Reflections of purpose.